Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. Happy summer. I hope you're keeping hydrated, and I hope your garden is looking lush and you're keeping your plants hydrated also. So this garden looks somewhat stressed out to me. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna clean it up, and I'll probably be planting some plants. I'll just put in some planters in here with plants already planted. But I just want to show you what my garden, this spot looking really bad. Everything else is looking so lush. Let me show you over here. You see that? Yeah, so the part of the garden is looking good, and this part is just looking stressed out, and I think it's because of this bleeding heart too. This bloomed already in the spring. It's a spring plant, and it dies off in the summer. When it gets really hot, the foliage turns brown and it looks like this. That's why it looks like that. And then my lilies in the back, they already bloom. You could see, look at that. See the change in colors there. And then my clematis, I just need to come in and clip off these seed heads. I should have done that already, but hey, things happen, right? It should give me more blooms again. And the peonies, friends, you know the peonies, they bloom late spring, early summer, but really late spring the peonies bloom, and they bloomed already. I'm not sure if you saw that. And peonies, they're very prone to powdery mildew. So if you see all the whiteness on your peony, don't panic. It's just a natural part of the plant. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here and trim off the foliage. There's no point in me leaving my peonies looking like this. And trimming off the foliage from the peonies with the powdery mildew, it doesn't harm the plant, because normally you hear with your bulb, you should leave your plant or your foliage from the bulb to die back. With your peonies, it's completely fine. You don't want to have a garden with powdery mildew. Just come in, clip these, and do not compost them. So if you're someone who composts your foliage, don't put anything like this in your foliage. I think you probably know that already. So I'm gonna come in and trim this up, clean this up, and right here in this spot, this is a daisy. See that? It got really long, and it looked really pretty, right, a few weeks ago, but you could see it's long. I'm just gonna come in and just trim it down, right? And then I'm left with this empty spot here, friends. Let me give you a quick story. So I planted this echinacea last fall, and you know what? I totally forgot. So I was out here and I'm like, I remember planting echinacea, and guess what I did? There was a lot of branches from the bleeding heart covering this entire space, and I lifted up and look who was underneath there. The poor echinacea was suffocating. Yes, so that's why there's a big gap here. I just trim out some of these bleeding heart foliage so that way there can be circulation in between these plants. Yes, I'm happy I remembered I planted this, otherwise my poor echinacea would have died. But you see, it's trying to bloom for me. So that's what's going on here, why I have this big gap in there. So I'm just gonna come in, tidy up this bleeding heart, and just cut back this daisy, and then our hydrangea will have time to shine. And I'm gonna clean up all this in the back. I know it's gonna look really bad, but that's okay, right? You don't want your garden looking like this. Just clean it up. And that's why I keep saying to you guys, it's good when you have planters, you have flowers in pot, because you could just take one of them and just put it in a bare spot. So I might probably move this in there, or I might probably move this Nandina in there. I'll walk around and see which ones I want to move, just so that way they could fill that empty spot over there. Oh, and then over here too, look at this, we have more peonies. Same thing, powdery mildew. I'm gonna cut all this back. You don't need this in your garden. It doesn't help anything. All right, friends, so I just wanted to share that with you. I know I'm trying to share the good, the bad, and the ugly in the garden, and not just everything that looks pretty. I'm showing you so that you can relate to me that, hey, this happens in my garden too, and not just show you everything looking pretty, right? What's the point of that? I'm a real person. I'm not a robot. I'm a real person, so I want to show you real things that happen in my garden too. All right, friends, so let's get this entire spot all cleaned up. And I have to think of exactly what I'm gonna put here, if I'm gonna put some new plants in here, but we'll see. And friends, I forgot to tell you, because I'm removing those powdery mildew foliage from the peonies, I change into a disposable glove, and I have alcohol wipes to wipe off my pruner, and then when I finish, I'll just put this in the garbage. So very important, if you're doing any pruning, try not to use an unsanitized pruner from one tree to the other, or one plant to the other, especially if there's anything disease or In this case, it's powdery mildew, but I just want to make sure I just clean it off and don't transfer it to any of the other plants. I don't know if powdery mildew is transferable, but I'm just taking preventative methods here. But just a tip for you, if you do anything like this in the garden, just wear a disposable glove and just sanitize your pruners just to avoid any contamination, so to speak. All right, friends, so this is all I got. Look at this. That's a lot, right? And then look how this looks so different. But guess what? The plants can finally get some air circulate in between here. And with my peony rings, I just leave them out because, friends, they're a pain. 1 year I took them down, and then when spring was here, early spring, I tried to put them back in and they were just collapsing. They were a pain, so I just leave them out. They stay there in the winter and the peonies grow, and they just grow in between the holes, and I don't have to worry about trying to fight with these peony rings. They're just a hot mess when you pull them out. But anyways, so this is what this side looks like, and here's my mess here. You could see there was a lot of powdery mildew. Let me go over here and I'll show you how the back looks. Look at this, friends. It looks different, right? So right here I got peonies from the ring right there, and let me move over to the other end and I'll show that to you too. Right in there, right there. And friends, right there where I just pointed, there's a hosta in there. Friends, I pulled that thing out and no, it still managed to come back up, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. So I'm looking here and I'm trying to assess what am I gonna plant there. I'm not gonna plant plants there, so to speak, because there's plants already there, right? So I'm gonna probably just put some containers there, but I'll show you what it looks like after. But I just wanted to show you how it looks airy and it looks so much different, right? And also this side looks so much different. And then I have lilies in this pot behind here. I'm just gonna leave the lilies in here until they completely die down. You could see they already dying back, but I'll just probably take it out because I have it in a nursery container and see if I could put another fresh flowers in there. But oh, and then I have to prune these, or deadhead these clematis, I should say, cut off all these spent blooms. But anyways, I just wanted to show what this looks like, and then let's get some ideas here, what I'm gonna put in here. Friends, I also have these I need to plant. Oh my goodness, it's June. No, it's July. Oh my goodness, it is July and I don't know where time is going. So these are coleus I did from seeds inside, still sitting here. And I planted up some marigold seeds in here. They're so tiny. But anyway, so maybe for fall I have some yellow marigolds blooming. But anyway, so this I got from Lowe's, friends. Yes, this was, what was it? It was some reward that they had at Lowe's, and they send you something in your My Rewards at Lowe's, and I got this free. It was a free plant. But I love the 3 type of coleus in here, so I'll definitely be propagating these for fall and bringing them inside because I love this type of coleus. It's so different. Like these ones are more generic, so to speak, but these ones are very unique. So I have that there, and then I have this begonia, friends. Look at it. Yes, I had them sitting in some water to keep them hydrated. And I even have a leftover Dusty Miller. And then these are Creeping Jenny for the pond. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make an arrangement with these plants. And I'm not sure if you saw these videos. I did some caladium with you guys. And look, they're coming up, they're doing well. So I might probably plant these up, pot them up somehow and tuck them over there, because these caladium, they don't like full sun. So this area is perfect for them. It's not shade, and it's not full sun. It's more like part sun. And look at this weed. Tell me, look at this weed in here, friends. Just look at that. And you know what? I left the weed here to deter the squirrels, because the squirrels like digging in pots. I figured, no, why not? But I'm gonna pull it out. But anyway, so this one is looking good already. And these are my pineapple lilies. Not sure if you saw when I planted those with you. And friends, I have some elephant ear plants. So I think I might tuck these in those empty spaces. We'll see, because normally right here I do elephant ear and canna lily. But last year I did those in the ground, and this year I decided to put them in pots because it's such a handful digging them out. I'm in zone 6B, 7A. So every year I have to dig out the canna lilies and the elephant ear bulb, and it makes such a mess in the garden. So I decided not to put anything I need to dig out in the ground, so to speak. So I might probably just tuck some of the elephant air plants over here. Let me go over here and show you some of them. So this is what I did, because I feel it's so much easier for me to take them out of the pot than in the ground when fall comes. So I think I might just probably tuck them in those spots just to fill in those areas. But anyway, friends, let me play around with these and then I'll show you how it looks after. All right, friends, so guess what I just did? So this is my lily of the valley, and there was a lot in front here and I don't need that much, so I just took my hoe and just dug it out. And my girlfriend is making a shade garden, so I'm just gonna give her some of these. And I have this echinacea I got from the Clarence section of Lowe's. I'm gonna put it in here. Yes, it needs water, and it really does. So I'm gonna tuck it in here and water it in. So that's the next spot here. So that's what I decided to do here. And then I even have a space for another plant here. Just have to move the container if I need to put another plant there. But anyways, let's get the echinacea in the ground. All right, friends, so here I have another pot here with some soil, and over here these are the caladiums that we pre-sprouted together. They're from Walmart, yes. So what I'm gonna do, and I was just using this to cover them from the squirrels because they love to dig in bulbs. So what I'm going to do is just to upplant them in the other pot. So I think I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm just gonna upplant it in here because they're supposed to get bigger, so that way it has space to spread out. And with these caladium, friends, they're not hardy in my zone, so I have to dig them out. So that's why I chose to put them in pots. It's just easier than me having to dig out the bulbs from the ground before the frost is here. So anyway, so let's get this in here and I'll show you what everything looks like after. Friends, and these were the lilies in the back. So I'm gonna put these somewhere else in the garden because they've done their time, as you can see. And I'll put them somewhere where they can lean on because you can see they're very tall. But what I did, these lilies were in this pot in the back, and I just tipped it over just to give me like a plant stand. Then I'm gonna put a pot with a caladium on top just to elevate it in the back. All right, friends, it is ready. Here we are. So I put the caladium in pots there. Look how this one getting big already. And what I decided to do, I just put the elephant air bulb in the back because it will get really large in the back. And even though they're tropical plants, they don't like direct sunlight because the leaves get scorched. So I figured I'd put it in the back there. This is a pot sun garden bed, I would say. I get morning sun in the back here. So let's start at this end. So we have the Rose of Sharon. So they should be blooming. We have some buds going on there. And friends, I told you before, these hostas, I dug them out and they came right back up. But you know what? That's okay. And then we have the daisy. I think this one is the Montauk daisy. The clematis already bloom in the back, and then we have the lupine, another hosta. And friends, look at this beautiful bleeding heart. Look what it looks like now. Remember this in the spring? It was gorgeous. Yes, look at it now. So this is the time when it's dying back to the ground. So I'm gonna leave it alone so it can naturally die back. But you can see how it looks right now, and you can see there's new shoots coming from in here. I've read somewhere they can give you a second flush of blooms in the summer, and I've seen where, I think it was last year or the year before, you could see it was pushing out some new blooms. But I don't want to stress the plant because it prefers the cooler weather, which is more of the springtime. It's so hot right now. Anyway, so I just went in, as you saw, and I just trimmed around a lot of it from here because, friends, it was suffocating the other plants around it. Just so you can see the wind blowing and the plants are getting circulation. And as I said to you before, here it is. This is my echinacea I planted last year. I totally forgot about it, and when I went looking, the bleeding heart was covering this echinacea. So you could see it's doing well, right? Giving me a nice little white bloom there. And this is my free Japanese maple I planted last year. I took it out of the crack of the garage at the front. My neighbor has one, so I think I get a lot of seedlings from her end. And I probably will do a video for you guys, probably if I have time, how to get free plants from within your garden. Believe it or not, you can get free plants from in your garden. Anyways, so I have Lily of the Valley. I dug some out for my friend, and I planted this echinacea with you guys, and I did more of the caladium in here. So once again, friends, think ahead with your garden. How is my garden going to look in summer when everything is looking so stressed out. The plants are hot, the spring plants are dying back. For example, as I said before, the bleeding heart. How will my garden look? What am I going to put there so my garden will continuously looking fresh throughout the season? So think of doing some bulbs in pot like I did a caladium, and have some pots planters on hand so you can put them in there. Just a tip for you. And then these are the Joseph's coat we did from seeds together. Remember these? Yep, look how tall it got. I can't believe it. It got so tall. I need to come and water these. When I'm done doing this, definitely have to go water my plants. And then look at this hydrangea. It was hiding in the back here, friends. Okay, now it can get the breeze, and now it can get circulation, and the plant can do what it needs to do. And you could see in the back where the rings are. Yep, as you saw before, I cut down the peonies. They had powdery mildew. There's no point in keeping them. So I cut them down so the space is airy and it looks better behind here, and I'm sure the plants are feeling much better. Oh, and I cut down the Shasta daisy I had here. It did its thing. There's no need to have it looking like that. So I just cut it down behind there, and I just put some caladium in pots, as you can see. And I think that's it. That's all I did behind here, and this is what it looks like. So, oh, and this one, I forget to show you this one. This one I had some miscellaneous shade plants lying around. These are Coleus. I had a Dusty Miller, oh my goodness, for so long. And I had this begonia, and these are some Coleus I did from seed. Here is one. Friends, I even have more sitting here, okay? Just sitting here. Coleus is so easy to grow. So try Coleus next year. You get a lot. You just need one seed packet, okay? I've shared these and I still have a lot remaining. And I have some marigold going on here, so maybe these I could get to tuck in later on in end of summer when it's fall, just to get a yellow color. So I just have them sitting here. But anyway, so this is what this makeover looks like, friends. So once again, think ahead for your garden. Your garden doesn't have to look all droopy or empty. Get containers and put some plants in there, or get some bulbs and pre-sprout some bulbs so that way you can fill in those empty spots. All right, friends, just a tip for you. So at least the bed looks better now and the plants are doing much better. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again. Cheers.